So this is probably what you are seeing here. One of my biggest worries for Tom Clancy's The Division is the whole rogue agent aspect to the game. Hey guys, what's up? It's Robbie with Open World Games, and we're going to be talking about going rogue in Tom Clancy's The Division and so much more, and drawing comparisons to another game, Kane and Lynch 2 Dog Days. This game was a 10 out of 10 game. It was a perfect score game. No, I'm just kidding. It was one of those games that you either loved or you absolutely hated, or maybe you just found very average. Who knows? But Fragile Alliance was a pretty interesting game mode, and it mirrors some of what they're doing with rogue agents in Tom Clancy's The Division. So this is definitely one of the biggest worries, one of the biggest fears is going rogue. I was expecting this game when you played, cooperatively in your co-op zones, your social hubs, your dark zones, to just stick with a group of 4 throughout the entire experience. You didn't have to be paranoid about some asshole shooting you in the back of the head or, teabagging you afterwards. It didn't sound like it was gonna be a GTA Online. So I don't want The Division to be ending up where it is like a GTA Online. You have some a-hole that's constantly trying to troll your group. So the going rogue thing is very interesting in some ways because it's not limited to just your squad. Attacking other neutral players makes you go rogue. But here's the thing. If you fire first, it seems like you're always at a disadvantage. You're known by the other enemy players around you. You get an additional bounty on your head, so you begin to ask yourself when you're playing Tom Clancy's The Division, shouldn't I just hold back, wait for someone to fire first because they're going to have a bounty on their head, I'm going to get bigger rewards. So hopefully the whole game doesn't devolve into where people are just waiting and, just hoping that someone fires first because, hey, the bounty's going to be much bigger on their head if they're killing people first. They're at a total disadvantage in every single regard. So we'll see what happens with that. And this is the big one. Rogue agents get a penalty with their respawn timer. So if you actually go out and you kill a bunch of people, expect the respawn timer to lengthen even more. Now, the exact number I don't believe is nailed down yet as to how long you have to wait around. But if it ends up pushing over 30 seconds or even a minute, I honestly believe it will kill the game because you don't want to go into PvP and wait for a minute to respawn at all. I would imagine you guys would agree. You probably want it to be more like Battlefield or other core shooters out there for your PvP experience at least, so you could get back straight into the action. Now, my personal experience with this was I was able to get a pretty good kill streak going at E3, and I didn't really notice too much of a penalty. So this penalty, I believe, will change for the final version of the game. We have a beta to go through, but my personal opinion on this, it has to be something that's extremely short. In fact, I don't mind if this whole system is removed completely, at least for the respawn timer. I hate the idea of waiting around in a game at all. I don't like that at all. There's certain games like Counter-Strike where you get no respawns, and I'm not a big fan of that. Let me know what you guys actually prefer. Do you prefer shorter respawns, no respawns, or, are you a fan of what Division is going after, where you actually are penalized with your respawn timer just for being a rogue agent, and that could seemingly be accidental in this game. So there's a lot of things that I question about going rogue in The Division, but it does sound cool in some ways, especially when we draw those comparisons to Kane and Lynch 2 Dog Days. This was a fun game. It had some potential. Of course, this game was not popular online. When you jumped into this multiplayer, it was constant paranoia. That was the adrenaline rush with this game. But this game really deserved that in a way because it was about criminals. Criminals are not the most trustworthy type of people in the world, and I think it fit perfectly into this game world. Not necessarily in Tom Clancy's The Division unless they have some sort of major story reason for going rogue and rogue agents, which could be a possibility. You never know. Maybe they have some sort of epic story behind that. But what it does to The Division is definitely adds a sense of paranoia in the game. Maybe you just want to have a good time with another random group in The Division. But what it does encourage in The Division is definitely sticking with a core group of players, which honestly can be hard at times simply because of time zones, time differences, that sort of thing. So you're definitely going to want to join a looking for group in LFG for the division for sure. But here's the wrinkle in all of it. Okay, so you want a group of 4 players, 4 friends to game with, and you can only game with maybe one of them every single night. So it's just you and a buddy, and you go into the world of the division. Maybe you join another group of 2 other players. That's where I do see having fun with the whole rogue agent thing. You're looking at these 2 other dudes that are in your squad, and you're wondering, are these 2 going to screw us over? Or are they just being nice because they're nice, or are they going to stab us in the back? So I think as a group experience, it could actually be a lot of fun, the rogue agent thing. That's probably going to be where it really does shine. But when we talk about an individual experience, that could be where it can be annoying as hell. I mean, going into a game and then having 3 other dudes trolling everyone, I mean, that just sounds like to me like a mess. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen often in the division, and it sounds like it's going to be limited to the Dark Zone. So I imagine a lot of you will be sticking to just the co-op at first, especially at first with this game. I'm curious to see if they adjust this down the road. I'm really wanting to see that option where it says, hey, this is a group that no matter what, you cannot become a rogue agent. So in the end, it seems like on one hand, this game is going to be encouraging team play, and then in some ways discouraging PvP play, which is kind of weird. I don't really understand that to a degree, because I mean, you don't want lengthened spawn timers, you don't want that sort of thing in the back of your mind if you just want to play PvP. But you do want to go after that rare loot and stuff like that, but I imagine a lot of you will just go after that by finding those loot crates. But on the other hand, you know, solo troll players can also collect their own bounty. So the more they kill people, the higher their bounty goes. You can, of course, kill them and collect that bounty. But if they escape out of the Dark Zone, it seems like they will collect that bounty. Or if the timer goes down all the way, it seems like they'll collect that bounty. So it seems like players that want to absolutely kill everybody will have to worry about long spawn timers, being seen on the map, and trying to get out of there in time. So it could be a rush for those of you that like guerrilla warfare and want to screw everyone over. So it's becoming more of a team versus solo play mentality in some ways, and, you know, adding that extra paranoia. But what will be annoying again is if you get a group of 3 a-hole rogue agent dudes. They join up with you in a group, you don't know them, they all 3 decide to betray you. You just want to relax, you know, you want to go into the Dark Zone, get that rare loot, and they betray you, all 3 of them. That's where I see it becoming an annoyance. That's just the facts. Let me know if you guys agree with that. But yes, this presents a huge question mark for me for the division at this time. Let me know what you guys make of rogue agents in the division. Leave a comment below, and thank you so much for watching once again. Stay tuned for more coverage of the division and all things open world gaming goodness. See you guys later.